Hello, everyone who's here. There's a few of us here, and hopefully a few more will be joining as we proceed here. But I will, at this point, turn it over to Paul. And please remember to write your questions right in the chat. So I'll be looking there for your questions. And meanwhile, we'll let Paul take it away.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. And hey, everyone, great seeing you. And yeah, and I really encourage people asking questions because I mean, I'm happy to just spontaneously pontificate for whatever, but this is really a precious opportunity to connect and really hear your questions and try my best to answer. One thing I've been thinking about, or I don't know if thinking about's the right word, but it's very present in my own process is, and this doesn't have to do with intellect or, theoretical anything. This just has to do with empirical experience. I notice in myself, and I think this is true for all of us, that, like I think about, so I'll be sitting in meditation and then all of a sudden my wound will come up or my trauma or whatever I call it. And I notice at each and every moment that it's like there's two possibilities. And for me, one of the sort of habitual, and I think this is true for everyone who's been in trauma, which is basically all of us, that one of the habitual proclivities, at least for me, is whether to split off or to not fully just be present with typically the pain that arises in the trauma, but to dissociate, to look away, to avoid it. But then as soon as I do that, there's a story that, oh, well, I really have a problem because there's this pain. Oh, so then I have to go to therapy, or then I have to creatively express myself, or then I have to have a dream, or I have to work on something. And so that story kind of is holographically enfolded in as soon as you look away, which is unwittingly feeding the strength in the seeming trauma, making it real. It comes with all these narratives, baked into the cake, so to speak. And then, so as soon as I then turn away in whatever way I do, and in essence, I'm avoiding relationship with myself, then all the stories come in. Oh, I have a problem. I need this. I got to do that. I have to remember something. Oh, I need to do a plant medicine journey. I need to have a vision, whatever. That all then feeds into the very next moment, the trauma manifesting in its new form. And then, if I do my habitual reaction in that way, ad infinitum. That's the self-replicating feedback loop that from the Buddhist point of view feeds samsara. And, it's just, in a sense, the repetition compulsion of a traumatized soul. And so that's one option. At each and every moment, that's one of the options I see in myself in various guises. The other option is to just, and it's almost like going to a gym where you cultivate a muscle. It's as if when that moment of trauma comes up and typically there's pain, it's like training yourself to go towards that, to just be present with it. Not even necessarily to do anything to liberate it or to heal it or transform it or exercise it or anything like that. It's just to actually be present with the nature, phenomenologically, with the nature of the experience that's arising in the moment, that moment of abuse or wounding or trauma. And what I'm more and more understanding is that as I or any of us cultivate that muscle, um, it creates the space for the arising of the trauma. In Buddhism, it's called to self-liberate. And then all of a sudden, there's no problem. then all of a sudden that arising of the trauma has actually, introduced you even more to your true nature. Okay. And, so like I'm really trying to distinguish these two, potential timelines that are offered to us at each and every moment of feeling or pain, of feeling or trauma. And, I know, for example, in